Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Leo here. Caden, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well, Max. How about you?
I'm also doing pretty well. I'm pretty excited about, the basketball atmosphere and where things are headed in the league. I don't know if I'm excited about the Nuggets, but let's talk about them.
So, last time we talked, the Nuggets have actually had a pretty busy week. They played 4 games this past week. Starting off, they played their last NBA Cup game, which we'll get to a bunch of NBA Cup stuff in a little bit.
Correct.
Where they beat the Warriors. They own the Warriors. They own Steve Kerr. So that's always just a good sight.
Always a good time playing the Warriors, Caden. Even when you're down, even when you're in a slump, if you see the Warriors on their schedule, you know you're going to take care of business.
Warriors, it's been the last couple of years, the Warriors and Lakers, they just love playing both those teams.
Hey, we love playing those West Coast teams, especially, at home when we get a chance.
Now, though, then you get to the bad games where they played the Cavs in Cleveland, where it was a close game. They're fighting, especially. It was a really good first half. The Cavs made 17 more threes than the Nuggets in this game. The Nuggets made 5 threes as a team, and then the Cavs made, I think it was 22.
22.
So that's a bad recipe for when you only lose the game by 12. Make a couple more threes in there. You're right back in this game, and you have a great chance to win. It was just, bad.
Exactly, Caden. And that was the main storyline of the game. I think that's honestly the one thing you circle on the stat box and say, this is why you lost. Again, we've talked about it over the course of this week's. In this NBA, modern times, you cannot shoot the 3 ball. You will not win games.
Yeah, I mean, not only did they only make 5, they only attempted really though like 25.
Yeah.
Which you really need to see, because you have 3-point shooters on the team. You need to see those attempts probably go up a little bit. And even then, you need to shoot better than 25, 22% as a team when you're playing one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, like the Cavs have been this season, if you want to be able to compete. And then when you don't, this is what happens.
Most definitely.
Then we get to Saturday night, though, where you play the Washington Wizards, who hadn't won a game in over a month, didn't win a game the entirety of November. And what do? Jokic has a career-high 56 points. He has 56 points. You put up 113 points as a team, and you lose to the Wizards to give them their 3rd win of the season, 122-113.
Obviously this Wizards team's one of the worst basketball teams maybe ever.
They're down there for
maybe
sure.
Ever.
They're horrible.
And to lose to them with that Nikola Jokic performance is just utterly embarrassing. It's sickening and it's disappointing as a team. But the way they responded was very pleasing.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to, this Cavs game, I saw, remember those games these past couple years when Jokic just is like, you know what, I'm not going to shoot tonight. He'll have 6 points, but have 17 assists.
Yeah.
This was the complete opposite. He shot and did what he had to do to try to keep the Nuggets in this game. And doing that, I mean, he took 20 shots alone in the 3rd quarter. He decided, the rest of my team can't help me in this.
Yeah.
I'm going to just try to do everything I can to try to help us get a win. And he did. He put up 56. Even with all those shots, he still had great efficiency.
And his boards were still there.
Yeah, it's still a Nikola Jokic game where he was great efficiency, got some boards, still had like 6 assists-ish. But does 56 points, a new career high, and you can't even win the game. Luckily, though, it was the second night of a back-to-back on Sunday where you play in Atlanta against the Hawks, who had won 6 in a row. So they're kind of riding a hot streak, and the Nuggets just lost 2 bad games, especially coming off that awful Washington game. And then they finally responded. They finally started looking more like the Nuggets. You win the game by 30. It was never really close. You did what you had to do. Jokic put up 48 in that game.
Yes, he did.
So he had back-to-back just insane offensive games.
104 points within 2 games for Nikola Jokic.
Porter looked great in this game. I mean, finally, he's, like we'd said a couple times over the season, he's finally learning that he's a 6'10 wing guard who will have the size advantage over anyone guarding him. So he's finally going into the paint.
Yes.
And, I mean, he set a new career high in points in the paint last night. He didn't really take much threes, and when he did, they weren't really falling. He still had over 20 points. That's because he had about 20 points in the paint, which is a great just evolution in his game, especially because, I mean, AG didn't play great last night, but, I mean, you're missing Jamal because of hamstring inflammation. Something always wrong with him, and even when he's playing right now, he's just bad. That's a whole different thing. But the great thing with Porter, he's finding new ways to score when the 3 ball's not falling, and it's just great for his game. You saw Christian Brown was doing great. Again, he was making his threes for once, which is a big step up than what we're trying to see.
Yeah, Caden, going off back to Porter, his ability to attack the rim when he gets up and he elevates over it's almost impossible to defend. And the way he's able to have such touch and finesse to be able to just roll it, up even when he is contested, is going to go a long way for his game. But like you said, we just need him to be able to do it more consistently and more confidently. Yep. But this game was a great sign for him, and he is probably the second best player on the Nuggets right now.
I'd say 100% he's the second best player on the Nuggets. You have your Nikola Jokic, obviously. Even just these last couple just shows he's the best player in the world by far and away.
Early MVP frontrunner.
Early MVP frontrunner. No one can say otherwise, I don't think.
I think he's averaging a triple-double now.
He's been the whole time. Yeah. These last couple games, his assists have fallen a little bit, but I think he should still be right around there. Yeah. His boards are at a career high. He's averaging a career high in points. Like he's having just a
one. Oh, and his 3-point percentage.
It's just also at a career high on more attempts. He's just having one of the best seasons ever, and the team is barely over 500. Because, Michael Porter's been actually really good this year. He's averaging close to 20 points a game this year, which is what you want to see out of someone like Porter.
Yes, it is.
AG coming back has been helpful because before his injury, he was looking great. He's come back. He's still looking good. He's still looking like AG, the player you need down low in the game.
Always love AG.
He's
been a great player since he got to here from Orlando.
Christian Brown's making, this good step up. Then your point guard situation's been awful. Jamal's been bad. Russ hasn't been awful. He's shown flashes here and there.
Flashes, yes.
But just not like that consistent by any means. Then, your bench unit, it's really been Julian Strother and then
everything else.
That's it. So,
Definitely, Caden. Well, now it's time as the previously mentioned NBA Cup. We got, finalists from each division, Caden. So let's go ahead and talk about how that shaped out.
Yes, the quarterfinals will start the day you guys are watching this episode. So we'll have the quarterfinals, semifinals, and obviously the championship, which is a game that doesn't count towards the record books, the standings, nothing.
It's just a game of exhibition.
It's just a nice exhibition game, yep. So, in the West, the teams that came out, you had the Rockets who won their group over, really, it was the Clippers and Timberwolves. They went 3-1, just had a good time in there. In West Group B, you had the Thunder who went 3-1, and they were able to beat the Suns in there because they had a 15-point differential over them, so they were able to have the point differential.
Yes.
And then you get to the West Group, which actually saw the two teams come out of it. You had the Warriors who won the group. They went 3-1. They won the group. Then the Mavericks end up being that wild card slot, also going 3-1 with a 46-point differential. So it was a lot better than the other 3-1 teams like the Suns. So they were able to get in, slide into that little group, like wild card slot and get there. Then in the East, though, our first group was the group that saw the wild card. You had your Knicks who went 4-0, just beat everyone that they could. Then the Magic went 3-1. They ended up getting that wild card slot. What's going on with the Magic and these torn obliques?
Oh, Caden, that's rough.
The best player on my fantasy team, and Franz Wagner, is having a career year, puts up 30 points against the Sixers. Then it comes out the next day. Yeah, his right oblique's also torn. Expect him back at the start of the new year. What's going on? It seems like an oblique, especially an oblique tear, is a rare injury. Somehow the Magic have had two of them in the span of a month and a half. So that really sucks for them because they're on this huge hot streak right now. They're playing really good basketball. And now you're missing your top two players.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
Not looking good at all.
Then, actually, though, the Bucks finally played good basketball.
Hey, credit the Bucks. We dogged on them a couple episodes back. And
then they started
winning. Yeah.
They went 4-0 in their group, barely eking out the Pistons, who actually went 3-1 in the group.
Yeah.
So the Bucks ended up coming out there. Then in the East Group C, it was the Hawks of all teams that came out on top. Yeah. They had the head-to-head
6-0 run, Caden.
Yeah, they got that head-to-head over the Celtics. They went 3-1, and now Celtics didn't make it. Cavs only went 2-2. So they come out. And now, though, we get to our quarterfinals, which, like I said, we'll start the day. You're talking about this. We'll get our matchups between the Magic and Bucks and the Hawks and Knicks in the East. And in the West, we have the Mavericks and Thunder and the Warriors and Rockets. Who do you like to come out of these matchups into the semifinals, obviously into the finals?
Okay, and obviously I think the first and quickest one to talk about is the Bucks versus Magic game. Yep. Like you said, I think the Magic team's just undermatched here.
If Franz was still playing, I would like the Magic in this matchup.
Most definitely, Caden. And we've talked about how much we like the Magic this year. But gotta trust Giannis, gotta trust Dame, even though, he's had his season. Still got those pieces, and I think just having a full team that the Bucks have gives them the advantage. I think they easily pull out.
I think, this should be a nice, easy win for the Bucks. I mean, and if it wasn't for how insane Jokic has been playing this year, Giannis is probably your MVP frontrunner. but just because he's been incredible. He's
I
trying
was
to
gonna say,
carry
he's having
this.
a great
Yeah,
season.
he's trying to carry this Bucks team right now, and Jokic is just doing the same at a little better value than what be honest doing. But he's been insane to start this season.
Yes.
What about the other matchup between the Hawks and the Knicks in the East?
Caden, this one, with that Hawks team having that good run, it's a lot closer than I would have thought a couple of weeks ago.
That is true.
I am still going to go with the Knicks. I really do like the way they match up against the Hawks specifically. And with it only being one game, I think they have enough to keep up with, Trae Young, and I think they'll edge them just a little bit.
Yeah, I do, especially, it's in New York. I think that'll help playing at MSG. And, the Knicks are just, I think, a better basketball team. They're finally starting to gel into with all their new pieces, Cat, Mikal Bridges, and all them, that they're finally starting to look like the Knicks where we expect them to see.
Yeah.
I think, this should be a nice, clean victory for them. Get to that semifinals. And then what about between those two? Who do you think will come out of the East going into the finals?
Ooh, okay, we're going to make those predictions already without even seeing the game?
I'm just going a little ahead. Let's see what we would think.
Right now, okay, I'm going to be honest, I really do like the Knicks. I've really been big on the Knicks this year. I like the moves that they have made. I like Cat and the way he's starting to find his role, and I just see them being able to squeeze it out. That may change based on the games.
Based on the games we see, it could change.
Early predictions.
Our early predictions. I'm going to agree with you on that. I think the Knicks will be the team to come out of the East here.
I like it.
Our little Western Conference matchup, so you have the Mavericks and the Thunder with the Thunder at home.
Yeah, Caden. The Thunder at home definitely weighs heavily on this game. But I just have a feeling the Mavericks could pull one out. I think they can get hot. I think, Kyrie could find a rhythm. Obviously, we know Luka Doncic is a liability on the defensive end.
But on the offensive end, big plus.
Yeah, he's going to give it to you. And if you just get into a, try to outgun each other matchup, I like Luka and Kyrie to be able to do that. And that's kind of what I think this game ultimately ends up being. Caden is, a shootout. And I just think that the Mavericks are able to pull it out.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen, especially with the Thunder, since Chet's gone out with his injury, their defense has faltered. Obviously, when you have a top 3 DPOY candidate get hurt, obviously your defense is going to falter. But, I mean, since Hartenstein's come back from his injury, he's looked good.
He's been getting rebounds.
He's getting boards. Yeah. He's getting like 10 points a night, so he's still looking good. He's obviously a huge downgrade from Chet. Shea's still incredible, though, and I think his factor, especially with the way J-Dub's been playing, are going to be able to eke out a little victory in this game.
You like the Shea factor?
I like the Shea factor over Luka. I just think a little better. And then our other one, though, which I think would be a really good game, is the Warriors at the Rockets.
Oh, yeah. Kid, this young Rockets team, we've talked about them, man. They just play hard.
Oh, yeah.
They really do. They find ways to eke it out. And I just don't know if I trust the Warriors still, Caden. I don't know if I trust them fully. They've kind of had some ugly losses. I think they're starting to find their identity now.
I mean, they've been good this year.
That's what I'm saying. After having, a rocket start to the season, then they had that dip. I think they're back on the upcline. But that being said, I don't think they get the job done.
Yeah, no, you guys know we love this Rockets team. Jalen Green, Alpie, I mean, Fred VanVleet's been nice at the point guard. And then even, the way Ime Udoka, structures this team, he's always going to play.
Coach.
He's a great coach. He's always going to play the hot hand. He's like, if you're playing good, I don't care if you came off the bench. You're coming right in. You're playing the bulk of the game because you're the hot hand. And he's like, he's going to ride with no matter who it is. Doesn't matter the status or whatever.
And I love that mindset as a coach, Kate. And I think more people need to adopt that. It doesn't matter what you pay the guy. I think too many times people are like, oh, we pay this guy X amount of money, so he needs to have X amount of minutes. No. Put the team first.
Yep.
Coaches need to stop prioritizing these big NBA egos and all this stuff. Let the player who's hot ride with them, especially when you're a young team who doesn't have a top 5 NBA player. Let them kind of feel out. Let someone take the reins. Let people get different opportunities to make plays in the game, and that's what makes this team special.
It's what makes this team great. I really like the Rockets, and I think they're building something there.
Most definitely.
Now, our other look ahead here with the West, you got your Rockets against, in your eyes, the Mavs.
Yes. Rockets against the Mavs, Caden. I'm going to be honest. I'm riding with the Rockets still again. I think, the Mavericks will be a little cool off. We kind of see this pattern. If they have a good showing, they kind of dip down. And I think that's what we'll see as a Rockets team that just wants it a little more. Maybe Kyrie and Luka don't play quite as hard because it's just a cup game. And I think maybe those young guys want that extra bonus.
Want that little
they
extra
want
money
that incentive to get there. So I'm going to be honest. I think that those young dogs are going to be hungry enough to get past.
I'm gonna, even though I think they'll be playing the Thunder. I still agree. I think the Rockets, these are all young guys. A lot of them on like rookie deals. And stuff. They want that little extra money they
Yes,
get if
they
they win the
do.
NBA Cup. I think they'll try a lot harder than the Thunder in this game. Get into that championship. This is obviously we're about a week and a half or 2 weeks ish away from the final, but in our eyes we got a Rockets Knicks final.
Yes, it is.
And I'm taking the Rockets.
Caden,
I think they can kind of be like the Pacers from last year, even though they lost to the Lakers. I think just the hot team at the right time. The young guys in Houston come out, win the NBA Cup.
Caden, I love that pick. But just for the sake of the pod, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say, the Knicks, I think, Cat is going to have I don't want to say breakout Knicks performance, but I think he will have a special game in the eyes of the watchers that really propels them up. But ultimately, Caden, I would be really excited to see a Knicks and Rockets matchup. Two teams that I think are hungry and looking to get back in, the public eye as contenders. Because obviously the Rockets, when they had Harden, were known as a team that's going to come out of the West. And the Knicks, many, many decades ago,
they did make
franchise.
And they were in Eastern Conference Finals last year, though.
Yes.
So they've built that back up. I mean, obviously, this is still early. Different pieces, but it's still early. We'll talk about it more next week when we get past the quarterfinals into more of the semifinals, finals look ahead. But that's what we got predicting for us.
Most definitely. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all next time.